When Boxxy was stolen, there was my camera kit that was inside. I had removed a couple of things to get prepared to do a video or two. So my GoPro camera, which is right here, and this is why we're in my bathroom, by the way, so that I can show you some of the new things I've had to order because I lost my whole camera kit and a bunch of accessories inside Boxxy when it was stolen. So the first thing that I'll show you is what I'm using right now, and it's right here. Whoops, backwards. There we go. So what it is, it's quite simple. It's this selfie stick that you're looking at right here. But the advantage is it has a coiled plug-in on the back of it. And the stick itself is a 10,000 milliamp hour battery on the inside. The whole stick is literally a battery. And what that will do is allows me to turn the GoPro on and then plug it in. And literally, I will have unlimited, well, I mean, it'll last for hours, battery supply, so the GoPro won't have to have a battery change for a long time. And the stick also does its usual thing of extending, so I can extend it really tall, like that. And in doing so, I can get some pictures like that. Hello. So it's pretty cool. I'll leave a link to this selfie stick, which is really awesome. I'll leave a link to that in the description down below. One of the other things that I lost when Boxxy went was my remote or wireless microphone system. So in doing these videos, it's important at times to be able to turn the camera, move the camera, or leave the camera in a certain position, yet be able to speak normally without yelling at the camera because it's further away or it's windy or such. It's necessary to speak and be heard. So what we use are little things like this. So this is a wireless mic system. Let me just open it up. So inside the case, you'll see in the middle is the receiver, and then there's two transmitters on either side. So, and that's not for stereo, typically, these are mono. That is so that if there's someone else speaking with me, they wear one of the mics, I would wear the other mic, and you're good to go. So the mics are very tiny. Here is the microphone right here. I'm not using it now, I'm using my media mod, which is on my GoPro. And here's the receiver unit here, and you can see it's looking for the two units now. That's why the blue lights are flashing. So the receiver plugs into the camera using connector on the side here, and then the camera takes its audio from here, which gets its audio from one or both of the transmitters. Now you'll notice some lights flashing on the case, the transmitter case. And this is actually a battery itself. So you charge the case, and then you can be out on the road and put the microphones or transmitter receivers inside the case, close the case, and it's charging right away, which is pretty handy. And then when you get back to a power supply, you can go ahead and plug it in and charge the case later, which is really handy. The other thing I lost in my camera case when Boxxy was stolen were all of my mounts. The only mount that I had left to hold the camera was this clip, sort of multi-angle mount, which is my go-to. I use this thing a lot, a ton. And I like it because you can position it at any angle, you can clip it on surfaces, it has a super strong hold. It's just great. But losing all the others meant that I had all my other options of using the camera gone as well. So I had to buy another flat clip mount. I had to buy another suction mount for the camera, good for windows, glass, smooth metal surfaces, that kind of thing. And then I added to the fleet of accessories this little device. So this is actually magnetic, which is very handy. Not that a lot of cars today have metal on them. But at any rate, yeah, you can put this on a metal surface, a roof, a door, whatever you want. And then the GoPro mounts on the top using the same type mount that's on the bottom of the GoPro, which is really cool. So those are done. Now, the other thing, it's not something you would notice very much, but I had to order a replacement or new Bluetooth earpiece for talking on my cell phone for road safety. Now, what I did is I ordered the exact, it's a newer model, but I ordered the exact same one that I already have. And the reason for that is because I still had the earpiece. It was in Vanny the week that Boxxy was stolen, but the charging cable, the little, of course it uses a very particular charging cable, it was in Boxxy. So I lost the charging cable. So what I ended up doing is I bought an entire new set. It gives me now the charging cable I need, and it gives me a spare earpiece headset. So I'll have a spare to use at any rate. Today is quite a normal day, but as you can see, I have my work shirt on. So we're gonna head outside, and today will be oil change day on Vanny. So let's take a run outside, and the weather's holding. It's really nice out right now, but the humidity is like 98.5%. It's ridiculous. And we're looking at thunder showers in the next few hours. So we can scoot out now, get Vanny taken care of, and that'll be good. And she'll be happy with fresh, clean lubricant. Something else I just realized. I have a pair of sneakers. They're older, they're black, they're really worn. They've got to be probably 5 or 6 years old. I was looking in the porch for them and couldn't find them. Where are my sneakers? And I remember I put them in Boxxy before my trip to Halifax to use if I worked on Boxxy, which I did a few times. So unfortunately, they're gone as well. I hope whoever has Boxxy enjoys my old sneakers as well. At any rate, so I've had to put on my sort of better pair white ones. At any rate, I have the ramps ready for the front of the van, and all I'm going to do right now is take Vanny out just for a quick little run around the block. You can come with me, and that's to warm up the oil and mix it up, get it in the sump, the bottom of the oil pan, make sure that it mixes up so we can get the oil change done really well. So let's scoot out in Vanny for a really quick trip and get her warmed up. Let's go. All right, that worked out. Getting it up on the ramps for a Dodge Caravan, it helps. It's not absolutely necessary. Let me get the hood open here. The engine in a Dodge Caravan is transverse mounted, sideways. So the front of the engine is actually right here. The back of the engine is over here. So the front and the back, as it's placed in the vehicle, are actually the two sides of the engine. Putting it up on the ramps is actually pretty much okay because the drain plug is on the side of the engine, which is actually in the rear of where it sits in the engine bay. So when you crawl under the van, right here behind the front tire, then the drain plug is almost in your face. It's really convenient. So yeah, let's take a look at the oil that I grabbed. There we go. Vanny's opening up her hatch. Okay. So there's not a lot of choice in the filters for this type of van, but I always get usually the better one. And here's the main type of oil that we're putting in today. It's a Castrol full synthetic 520, which is what the vehicle calls for, the manufacturers call for. And then the addition, because that large one doesn't do it all, I'll put in more 520 full synthetic, and both are high mileage. And if you'll notice, there are two different brands. Why do I do that? I think it bugs a lot of people. They think you have to have absolutely the same oil all the time in your car. Here's the truth. What you have to have same is the grade or the weight of the oil. It must be the same that your car requires as manufacturer's specifications. It has to be correct. And that is to do with all the little tiny parts and the little things that move together inside that detect torque and speed of the engine, RPMs rather, you know, the whole bit, all that kind of thing. They have to be absolutely accurate. That has to be correct. You can't play with that. What you can play with, and it's absolutely fine, is the manufacturer. You can move it around. You could put one high mileage, the other brand new car if you wanted. They don't sell it, but I'm just saying. But the weight has to be the same. And if you want, you can even mix synthetic with regular, with semi-synthetic, any way that you want. That does not matter, folks. It does not matter. Okay. So, but I like taking two brands out and showing people and having them sit here beside the car, because people always freak out and say you're going to destroy your car. It's going to blow up tomorrow, and if you start it up, you know, smoke's going to pour out the defroster vents and everything. No, it doesn't work that way. Now, the oil filter is top mount on this vehicle, and right there is the cover for that filter. So what I usually do is break that, and the torque rather, and turn it back just until it's loose, and then I go under and undo the drain plug for the oil pan. So let's break that, turn it back first. And lefty loosey, righty tighty. Now, of course, engineers today think they know everything, so they've made this housing out of plastic. Now, of course, we know that cars have so much plastic because the manufacturers want to reduce the weight to increase fuel economy, and I'm sure that's all wonderful. But certain things that really shouldn't be plastic, they just shouldn't do it. A lot of times you have to be very careful how much torque and pressure you put on these housings, because they do strip and fracture very easily, and they're not cheap. Okay, it's yeah, there we go. All right, so now it's coming off my hand. Good. So I'll just make sure. There we are. Yep. And of course, the oil is just hot enough to remove all my fingerprints. So yeah, I'm happy with that. And here's the oil cap, oil filler cap. We'll just loosen that too. Leave it in place. Don't have to take it right out. So it's on here. Drain pan is ready. I think you can see it. You should be safe over there. I don't think you'll need any oil. So lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. Okay. So I should pull down on that to break it. There we go. Now remember, we took off to warm up the oil, right? So it's going to be pretty hot. Before I actually just turn that off, let me go grab some paper towel, just have on my hands, just in case, you know. Okay, paper towel to save the day. Here we go. I'm going to try and do this so my hand is out of the way as much as possible. Hey, not bad. Not bad. Okay, and we'll bring that back just a bit because it'll start dribbling here shortly once the pressure wears down. And it's not a windy day today, really, so that's a benefit. And we can actually lay under here. It doesn't hurt to, there we go. It doesn't hurt to hang out. It only takes a few minutes. Now what's interesting, Boxxy had an 8-cylinder, and Boxxy actually took less oil than my 6-cylinder Penn-Star Dodge Chrysler engine here. I find that intriguing. So while this strips off, we'll go up top and we'll switch out the oil filter. So come on up top and let's do that, and we'll let this sit here and drain. Alright, so when you get the new filters, well, at least this type, so here's the shiny brand new filter with a big piece of fuzz coming off of it. There we go. Okay. So with that, you get a new rubber seal for the lid, the cover of the filter housing. So what we'll do, and when I pull this up, it'll bring the filter with it. Alright, we're back underneath here. I don't know if you can see, but the oil is right down to just a little bit of a string trickle. So that's plenty. Let's go ahead and cap this off. Find the hole. There we go. And we'll torque this up hand tight. It doesn't have to be crazy tight. Hand tight is fine. That's good. I needed to come under and do this because I need the oil pan to directly put the filter in to drain that out, because it's going to have a lot of stuff on it. Well, stuff. Oil. That's the stuff we're dealing with. Alright. Alright, so we put the gasket back on and seated this down and didn't tighten it too much. I didn't get that on camera because it wasn't recording. At any rate, so what we'll do is seat the air conditioner back in place. There we go. Okay, always make sure your funnel is clean on the inside and outside. Let's get this off, set it off to the side. Done. We'll do a quick check on the oil, make sure. I think something usually shows up. We'll find out. And yes. And we're just a little ways from the safe mark. So we'll have to put a bit of this in. Now the engine is tilted a little bit, so I'll take that into consideration. For the moment, I'll bring the oil just to the bottom of the safe mark. Perfect. So bring this up and try and show you where it's at. Okay. So it's just barely over the safe mark. And GoPros don't focus well, so I think that's all you're gonna get. We're good. That's done. This is done. Perfect. All right, garbage, garbage. I'm very happy. So what I do now is I'll take the oil drain pan and I'll put that back into these oil containers that I bought it from, and then we have a local return place for oils and filters and all that such. not too far from here. Thank you, folks. I had to get this job done, a little bit of a thing, and Boxxy is a memory at this time. Insurance has been taken care of, but it's still not a happy situation. Vanny and I will be doing some more little adventures in the near future. This oil change was a first step in keeping her prime and healthy. That's it for the moment. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.